Hey,
Hey.
coming in hot, coming in hot, 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 hot. Oh my God, back on this Sunday. Ooh, a
Yeah,
gloomy Sunday.
I know, but I love it.
Gloomy.
It's feeling
It's
like
giving,
fall.
truly giving fall vibes today.
Oh, yes.
Cloudy, rainy, cozy, comfy, cozy. I'm even in a
No, I
sweatshirt, you guys. Ooh.
yeah, I love it.
Oh yeah, this is my fall attire all weekend.
I know. Look,
Nuts.
hats,
Hey, not a
long
hat.
coat.
Hey.
Yeah, it's the in my tea era.
Ooh, I love it. That's so funny to me. Hey, everybody. I don't know where people are joining us from, if it's morning, afternoon, or evening, but good day.
Oh, yes, we already got some people. Let me hit it up. Oh, we got Brett. Hey, Brett. Thanks for stopping
Hey,
by.
love it.
He says, "Hey, everyone." TG, hey. He said, "I watched Terrify and it was bloody interested." Oh, yeah, TG, let me know. This was his
Ooh.
first time watching it.
Oh my God, Art the Clown. Do you see
Yeah,
art behind you? I spy art behind you.
there we go.
Ooh.
And we got Zell. What's up,
Hey,
Zell?
Del.
Oh, yes. And look at the guys joining us while
I know.
football on.
I appreciate it, you guys. Mika told me that today. I was like, girl, where have I been? I forgot about that. You see how we not staying tuned in? Football
Yeah.
season is back in full effect.
Oh, yeah. See, we basketball. That's why.
Come on, basketball. Come through.
Yes. Oh, and Gory. Hey, Gory. You said, "What's up?"
Worry.
And Anthony said, "How are you ladies? We're doing good. Doing
You can't
good."
complain. I mean, I could, but I won't.
Yeah. And he said he saw Toxic Avenger was awesome. Next up is The Long Walk. Oh, yes.
Ooh, we're very
I know.
excited about a long walk. That
Yeah,
comes
we
out
got
this
to see
Friday,
it.
right?
Yeah, this Friday. We got to
Ooh,
see that
I'm
one.
excited. I'm excited.
Okay, and then we got Gory saying, Brett saying hi to everybody. I
Hello,
gotta
hello. Oh yeah,
let's
I'll try to
see.
help with the chat.
Oh yeah,
I thought I was. I'll try it.
yeah, that's all right, Carol. You zip in
Oh
if
no,
you
no, I'll
feel
try. I'm gonna try,
zip in
girl.
if you feel safe. And hey, Jason.
Hey, oh,
Okay,
Anthony just celebrated his 42nd birthday. Hey, love it.
yeah,
The
happy
40s are supposed to be
birthday.
the best.
Yeah, love it.
Happy
All
born
right,
day.
okay, I'm a star.
Virgo season.
Oh yeah, but it's go, and then it'll be us,
Libra,
Libra.
the best zodiac sign. Sorry, Virgos.
Yes, all right. So, Carol, we gotta tell people what are we doing tonight?
Oh, yes. Okay. So, hi, everyone. So glad that you can join us. Very excited about this stream, right? Literally. An end of an era, shall I say.
Yes.
Yes, an end of an era, but I like the way it was wrapped. We
Mhm.
are going to be discussing our take on The Conjuring, The Last Rites. Mika and I had an opportunity to see it opening night on Friday.
Mhm.
I digress. I love a good movie theater experience, but oh my God, the people make me want to watch it at home. I
I
digress.
know the etiquette is getting bad.
Oh, etiquette is getting so bad, but we went, we conquered, we watched it, we loved it, and so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, and we'll kind of pair it with a little bit of tidbits, reviewing the other films as well.
Oh, yes, yes, and we're gonna start off with, always what we're drinking.
Ooh,
Look at I got my Frida mug.
I got my Dolly.
Yeah, I love that Dolly mug.
I
Can we
can't
do
help
the
it. I love her.
should we
No, I
try to
can't do it.
clink
I'm not
it?
gonna be able to go.
Oh, wait. Okay, go.
Boop,
Boop,
boop.
boop.
Yeah, we tried
Okay.
it.
Oh, and I'll tell everyone what we're drinking. So, it's just pure black dark tea, no
That's
sugars,
good.
no sweeteners. And I picked black tea to kinda match the tone of the Conjuring films. They're dark,
Dark, yeah, dark.
eerie, the atmosphere, the tension.
The artifact in this film, the mirror black.
Yes.
Come
So I
on,
thought
black tea, it's fitting.
I thought it was fitting. So that's the
It
drink
is. I
tonight.
like it. Yes.
And let
Okay.
us know, you guys, if you're drinking anything too. So what we thought would be fun is we're gonna go through each of the films before we get to The Conjuring Last Rites and just give our take on each film in the franchise. I know there's 9 in the whole universe, but we're focusing on the 4 Conjuring
Oh,
films.
yeah, Dell, no worries. Dell just said me he's gonna head out because he haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, I don't think we're gonna do
No
spoilers.
spoilers,
Yeah,
but
we're not
I
gonna do
feel
any
you, Dell.
spoilers.
No
Yeah, we're just
spoilers.
gonna like I said, we'll go through each film, and then we'll just kinda give our review on it, and we'll try to really aim for no spoilers.
Okay, let's jump in. Let's do a dive.
Do, 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 do. Okay, I got my banners because 'cause they're trying to stay focused.
I know. And I
Okay,
know.
so I
Come on,
know.
notes.
Come on, notes. Okay, so the first film
Oh, The Conjuring.
yes.
Ooh.
The
Okay.
2013
I
film.
love this one.
I
I
love
can't
this.
believe this came out in 2013. Can we say that? Like, time is literally flying. She is waiting for
Mhm,
nobody.
mhm.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I can't yeah. But this one follows the per I hope I always say that right, the
Yeah,
Perron family.
yeah, the Perron family. We'll
Yeah,
go with
they
that.
move yeah, there's a family from, and all the films are loosely based on true stories, so real families, but it follows the Perron family, who moved to Rhode Island into a haunted house, and we know some mayhem ensues, uh, when they move in. What I loved about this film is, for us, we've seen so many horror films that it's really, takes a lot to get us scared, and I think this film really reinvigorated the horror genre for me when it came out. What are your thoughts on it?
Oh, I agree. I think you summed it up perfectly. It's been a well, we know how rare it is to have a horror film. Not that it's rare that horror films come out, but it's
Mhm,
very rare to find a horror film that really gives you that old school feel and scares you authentically,
mhm,
rooted in those elements. And so I think The Conjuring was quite enjoyable to many, especially us, because when it came out, it really didn't. It wasn't over the top. It didn't have all these bells and whistles. It was just a traditional ghost story, horror,
mhm,
haunting, and I think they did an extremely good job. Honestly, I love the pacing, the tension building, the atmosphere, all of it.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, and just to speak what you said is literally about all the things you don't see,
Mhm.
like the bump in the night, the dark corridors, you had some jump scares, but they really weren't, they were meaningful, they were there for a purpose, but
Yeah,
yeah,
they didn't
just
over
those
dramatize,
yeah, just
dramatize.
those yeah, just those old school vibes, like, this one really terrified me, and it still does today, like, I watched it recently, just to get prepared for the new film, and still, like, the same
Oh,
spooky
feeling. Oh,
vibes.
yeah. This one would actually be in, high up in my ranking any rankings list in terms of horror.
Mhm,
Well done, like, thoroughly, dare I say, I know we'll kinda talk later on about our ranking, but this would always stand the test of time for me in terms of the entirety of the franchise.
mhm,
But
mhm,
yeah, I agree, love this film.
mhm. I'm just trying to see if I mentioned anything else in my notes,
Let's
well
see, oh, no, I was just trying to, check in the notes. Yep, I love the classic haunted house feel,
mhm.
the chills, the tone of the film, the pacing. It's very moody too, very dark.
Oh,
The
yes.
visuals was excellent as well.
Yes, and we're introduced, well, prior to the movies, me and Kira had been aware of Lorraine and Ed Warren because we watched, like, paranormal shows and all those things, so we had followed them beforehand, and I remember hearing that they were doing a movie based, loosely on their life, and I was like, "Ooh, that's gonna be intriguing," and
So
then when
cool. Yeah.
we saw the cast, you have, Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson, they introduced us to their Ed and Lorraine in this film, and right off the bat, I just loved, how they portrayed the characters and their, introduction and their love story in this
Yeah, good
film.
chemistry.
Great chemistry.
Yeah, I can't think of any other, they picked the perfect actor and actress to portray Ed and Lorraine for
Mhm,
sure. Like, you
mhm.
can't unsee them in this role now. Like, the chemistry is
Oh.
palpable, so I love it.
Oh, yes, yes, so let me just do some comments. TG said 2013, time does go fast.
Really,
Oh,
12 years
yeah.
ago. Ooh, wow.
Isn't that crazy? It do. It's like you blink and is a new t this
I'm gonna wake up, it's gonna be 2040.
Oh, no. Brett said, "Love this movie, made me an official horror fan, gave me a horror community, and gave me 2 new best friends."
Oh,
Oh,
love
awesome,
it.
Brett.
That's
Oh, and then
awesome.
Brett said, "Oh, Bathsheba." Yeah, she was
Bathsheba.
terrifying. Yeah, she
Haunting
was
that land, haunting
terrifying.
that house.
Oh, yes. Oh, do you have any standout scenes in The Conjuring, Kara?
Oh, wow. Well, this is actually a classic staple. I love the scene when, the youngest daughter is playing that game where you do the claps and the
Oh,
mom
yeah.
walks in and you see, like, the wardrobe and then you see the hands outstretched and do the
Mhm,
claps. That
mhm.
was actually when I first saw this, so frightening. And then also even the one of the daughters banging their head
Oh, on the
on the same
wardrobe.
wardrobe, like, that in and of itself would have scared me if I woke up and saw her like, my sibling doing that.
Mhm.
Oh, and you know what was equally jarring is I love the scene when, one of the daughters is getting pulled by the leg at the bed, and you can't
Oh.
see anything, which is so classic in terms of how fearful that scene was. They
Mhm.
played it perfectly where there was nothing that you were seeing, but it was frightening. Like you just
Mhm.
didn't know what was there. Like behind the other
Mhm.
sister who was saying like, basically, it's right behind you.
Oh, yeah,
And then
one
you
of
get
mine
more glam.
one of mine was when they have the investigation team there, and one of the daughters, remember the entity pulls the hand, she's floating all around the
Oh yeah.
room.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's one, and then the Bathsheba, when she's hovering over Lily's
Oh,
character
yes.
in the
Yep.
bedroom. Yeah, I
Mhm.
just think that's so terrifying. A question I would have for everyone is, who saw The Conjuring in theaters, and then did it bring back horror in the way it did for us? I know Britt mentioned it, but, I would love to hear everyone's thoughts on that in the chat.
Mhm. Oh, yeah, I am lucky enough to go see it collectively in the theater, and
Yeah,
I
we
recall having a really good experience watching this. Everyone was elated, actually thoroughly
mhm,
enjoyed this film. It got some hand claps at the
mhm,
end, which was
mhm.
well worth it, like, they worthy.
Yeah. Britt said the, wardrobe scene was the scariest scene I ever watched.
Oh,
Yeah,
agreed, and, like,
agreed.
even in that moment, I feel like Lily, the mother, knew, right? It was, like,
Mhm,
just this knowing that, "Oh my god, that's off," and even when the little
mhm,
girl says, "Mommy,"
mhm, yeah.
"Okay, alright."
And then TG said hitting your head on something had to hurt, not good for the brain.
Clearly.
And Brett said underrated scare is look what she made me do with the officer. Oh,
Oh, yes.
great. Okay, you guys, we're gonna keep it moving and we're gonna go into part 2, The Conjuring 2.
Yes. I like The Conjuring 2, again, not as much as the first, but,
Oh, yeah,
I'll have
yeah.
you describe it.
Oh, yes. Okay, so this one is set in London, and we have Ed and Lorraine investigating the infamous Enfield poltergeist.
Mhm.
So again, we're with the family who again is experiencing some hauntings in their home, and it's up to Ed and Lorraine to come in and figure out what's going on.
Oh, yes. And one thing I do like, the people who were introduced to Ed and Lorraine Warren is that, oh my god, there's so many cases, right, they could have
Mhm,
pulled from in terms of making these films, and
mhm.
even honestly, if they wanted to continue to go on, they could.
Oh, yeah, they
I
could.
will say I like that, they picked these stories, for Pacific families that they did. This one
Mhm.
was interesting because it took them across the pond, if you
Yep.
will. I absolutely, like, love this film, and Mika knows my only concern was I felt like, oh, and maybe 2 scenes, the CGI was a little bit over the top for me. I felt that it could have had the same impact without that necessary, scene. I'm thinking of Mika, the Crooked Man scene.
Oh, yeah, that's I knew what you were thinking of.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I know you sometimes have issues with that one.
Oh, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just like, it just feels a little bit too forced or too I don't know what the right word is, but I'm like, "Ah, we coulda did without that."
Oh, yeah, and see, and I love that one. It doesn't really bother me, the CGI on that. And a lot of people, see, the first one for me is still more terrifying, more
Yep.
scary, but I know for a lot of people, The Conjuring 2, they've said is, more scarier. So I guess it depends, but it does. I noted that it has bigger scares, more iconic imagery. It gave us, introduced it Valak, the nun. We
Mhm.
haven't seen, we get, Valak, and we also, like we mentioned, get the Crooked Man.
Oh, yes. And in this scene, in this movie too, what was particular is, because we know Lorraine has visions, like, so a
Mm,
part of, like, what makes her unique is that she can sense these things. She
mhm,
understands what's going on when she visits these places.
mhm.
And in this movie in particular, which made it equally scary is they're, trying to destroy an entity, but also, she has that premonition of Ed's, like, death, right? So it was like
Oh, yeah.
2 parallels going on in this film at once, them
Mhm,
helping, their
mhm,
normal pattern of trying to
mhm.
vanquish these entities, but then also, like, their support and care and wanting to make sure each other, is okay also.
Oh, yes, and that's very, touching in this film because, at their core, they're all about helping these families, overcome this evil, but again, realizing is it worth it because the risks are so high, like you said,
Mhm.
the risk could be losing Ed, who's, her the love of her life, basically.
Oh, yeah, and even, I mean, we didn't kinda hit on that too much in the first one, but I think the second one does a really good job of Ed, of course, always is going to worry about Lorraine, but we really
Mhm,
see a spotlight on her for the first time, really having genuine concern for him. Whereas in the
mhm,
first film, I think that role was reversed a little bit. You saw Ed not having those initial concerns. I'm sorry, Lorraine not having those initial concerns, but Ed, right,
mhm,
being very concerned for Lorraine and what she experienced when they were trying to help an individual who was possessed, and then
mhm,
also when she kind of falls. Even that was a really good scene too. Falls through the stairs
mhm,
in the closet in the first Conjuring.
mhm. Yeah, I like that character. Like yeah, the roles are reversed in this film. One of my favorite scenes in this film is when Ed is that guitar scene. That's one thing I love about these films, that even when all this horrible stuff is going on around, like, with these families and around Ed and Lorraine, the films have these heartfelt moments between these 2, that show the humanity and show the love, and this is one of my favorite scenes in this film when Ed is singing that Elvis song, I can't help falling in love with you, and you have, Lorraine watching from the corner. I just think it's a beautiful scene and just one I wanted to highlight.
Oh yeah, and that's actually hopefully people are picking up on that. And each film they do a really good job of like focusing on those little moments between the two, and then they do a really good job wrapping up our families, like our
Mhm,
protagonists in that as well. Like the first one, I would say when it was them cooking for them and like doing like the um that meal together. Do you
oh,
know what I
yeah.
mean? There's these little vignettes within the film where they personalize being human, right? That they
Mhm,
care and they're there, yes, for a serious cause. But in the midst of this, we also have to remember that we need this sense of connection as well. And we want to
mhm,
smile, we want to laugh. And their
mhm.
love really does center the darkness.
Oh, yes, yes, and especially we know because that darkness does feed on that fear.
Hmm.
Okay, let me go to the chat. Uh, Jason said he's going Tuesday, so I'm thinking, Jason, this is to see the film?
Yep.
Okay.
You get to see
Jason
what
said
you think.
yep, Jason said, "Honestly, it's one of my favorite horror franchises. I even get enjoyment out of Annabelle and The Nun."
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I love it's kinda like the MCU of the horror franchise, the multiverse, all the films that have spun off. Brett said, "I still need that solo Crooked Man movie in the Conjuring universe." Yeah, I thought they hinted at
Ooh.
that. We'll see.
I wonder. I have high hopes for that. They're gonna have to really impress me on that one.
Mhm. Mm, Jason said, him as well. Jason said, "I love the scene where one of the daughters is pulled out of the bed and there's a figure behind the door." That's what you mentioned,
Yep.
Kira, one of your
Yep.
favorite
Mhm.
scenes. And then Brett said, "I'm glad they added the nun in Conjuring 2. The nun was added last minute."
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
love that. Yeah, I love that scene
it
where
was
they
fitting.
introduced
Yep.
Valak.
Valak.
TG said, Elvis should have gone with Willie Nelson.
Ah, I love a music critic there.
Yeah, a little Okay, Kira, anything else you wanted to add about The Conjuring 2,
You know what I
or
will say is, it was a good follow-up sequel, I'll give it that.
Oh, yeah, yeah, hands down. Yeah, it was great. Alright, so moving right along, and we're going to part 3, which
Ah,
gets mixed
Devil Made Me Do
reviews.
It. I feel like this one, didn't get the didn't get a lot
No.
of love. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. I think,
Mhm.
coming off the bat of the first and the second one, I think people had very much higher expectations. But for me, it didn't mean this film was not good. I just think that in terms of like one, two, the third installment, people were expecting maybe more than what they got.
Yeah, and this follows a different trajectory, so I'll give a
It does.
brief description. So the 3rd film, is loosely based on the 1981 trial of Arnie Johnson. It was the first time in US history that demonic possession was used as a defense. So it leans less into the haunted, house,
Right.
genre, and more into following,
Possession.
Arnie in its possession. So it is a different trajectory from the first 2 films.
Mhm.
But equally, like I said, I enjoyed this one, for like you said, for what it was. I
Oh,
still
I did.
yeah, yeah.
What did I put? I put oh, you kind of noted already, but in my notes I said it was definitely a shift from the haunted house that we were used to seeing in the first two
Mhm,
films.
mhm,
And it was more or less focused on like the occult, like this mystery there.
mhm,
So
mhm,
we understand that it's almost like a witch. I'm just gonna call her that, was at play, like kind of fiddling the strings behind the scenes. And that was
mhm,
very different. This is the first film that even though we're dealing with ghosts, hauntings in the first and the second one, where we literally have a real person that's tied in terms of pulling the strings of what's happening to Arnie,
Mhm.
and even Ed and Lorraine, which was
Mhm.
really freaky to me. That was a different take. Um, I also loved in this film that we saw for the first time, probably on screen, how their work in the midst of helping these individuals really take a toll on one another. Like
Mhm.
that was when the first time starts having these heart issues.
Mhm.
Yep.
I think she actually had a heart attack in this film, so it was
Mhm.
it was a turning point because as we know in the first films, we see Ed as this strong character, and we find him vulnerable, and susceptible to the same, ailments that affect us all when he has these heart issues.
Oh yeah, and I almost question whether or not they're compounded just based off of what the work they do, right?
Mhm, mhm.
For sure. And oh my God, can you think about having heart related issues and doing this type of work?
Oh, yeah,
Oh my
no.
gosh, it's just come on now. It's not like a desk job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would have heart issues, just that's why no, I don't even do, like, haunted houses, I'm too scary. I love my horror movies, but I don't like that immersion, like, being that real into it.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. But this film was also interesting too because I did enjoy um the pitting the two together, if you will. So Lorraine actually meeting I forget the woman's name, the one that played the witch in this film. It was
Oh.
almost like a battle of the two, if you
Mhm,
will. Like that
mhm,
was a fun play in
mhm,
this film for sure, in terms of who would get the upper hand, because
mhm,
Lorraine is definitely in a lane on her own in terms of like her gifts and the ability to see and the being in tune. But oh my god, the witch in this was quite scary.
mhm. Yeah, oh, any notable, oh, we didn't even do that in the second one. Just to go back, did you have any, scenes in the second film that stood out to you?
Oh, one scene that I thought was incredibly scary was when they were playing back the tapes.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
just felt like, oh, just like hearing it clearer, getting clearer every time they replayed it back, and just
Mm,
that tension building in terms of them thinking they addressed the issue, and then that moment realizing they didn't.
mhm.
Um, so that stands out to me, and also when she actually levitates and ends up on the ceiling, so she was in bed, feeling
Oh,
safe,
yeah.
right, and comfortable, and then like almost like paralyzed there, like no control of her body at all, and just
Mhm.
watching things unfold, bearing witness to things, that she doesn't have any control over. That was scary.
Mhm, and then in this scene, this film, I think we like the same scene,
Mhm.
if you think of what I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah, what were you gonna say?
That cliff scene?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I agree, and this is interesting again, in this film, again, they highlight very well that in order for Lorraine and Ed to truly do their work, they take imminent risk, right? So we almost lose Lorraine in this film, trying to give information and solve like a cold case, if you will. And then Ed trying to keep pace, right, in terms of his fragile condition caused by the heart issues that he has. It's
Mhm.
a lot.
Yeah, let me get to the chat. Hey, T. Parker. He said, "I love or enjoy all the films in the franchise except for 3. The Conjuring 2 is my favorite, and it's my favorite Christmas horror movie." Awesome.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, three didn't get a lot of love. I mean, to each
No,
his
no.
own. We get it.
Yeah, yeah. Brett said The Conjuring 2 was the first horror movie I ever saw as an official horror fan.
Love
Awesome.
it.
Uh he said The Conjuring 3 is the most disappointing horror movie I ever saw. Wanted it to be more like The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Ooh, that's
Oh,
so
that's a really
good.
good film. Yeah.
Yes, yes, Exorcism. Ooh, that's so slept on. Uh, Jason said the only 3 movies that really scared me were The Conjuring, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, and Paranormal Activity.
Oh, very good
Good one.
list. We thoroughly enjoyed The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I like
Mhm.
Paranormal Activity,
Yeah, the
too,
first
but yeah,
yeah,
The
yeah.
Exorcism of Emily Rose was, ooh, jarring.
Mhm. Jason said Conjuring 2 is my favorite one. Okay.
Yeah, and you know what I will say about the films that I do like, is that I don't think it's always great to go in order, of course, but I
Mhm,
think that
mhm,
the unique piece about these films, which are really good, is that, they all follow individual cases.
mhm,
So you can definitely start at 2 if you really wanted to, and then kinda
mhm.
work your way around.
T. Parker said, "I appreciate The Devil Made Me Do It. As the years go by, it's the best looking Conjuring film. The antagonist being human instead of an entity. Love the mystery angle and the humor. It's a 7 out of 10 film.
Love
Awesome. Yep.
it, T. Parker. Yeah,
TG said
definitely a different take for sure.
mhm.
And I
TG
think this film did a really good job in terms of like what he said in terms of possession, right? The individual human being, right? That they
mhm,
knew actually taking on new form just based off of this entity that's taken them over.
mhm. TG said the budget for The Devil was 39 million and it made at the box office about 206 million.
Ooh, come through. What The
Yeah.
Conjuring is going to do is hit that box
Oh
office.
yeah, it's like $1 billion horror franchise.
And we see it's doing well now this weekend too.
Mhm. Oh my god, I think 180 something million worldwide. That's
I love
crazy.
it. Fitting, as it should.
Oh, hey, Wayne. He said between my
Yay.
fellow Aussies, Lee Wynell and James Wan. Yep, the great
Mhm.
James Wan.
Yep.
They created Saw, The Conjuring, and Insidious.
We love
Just
them for it. We've been
mhm.
blessed by them for
Oh
sure.
yes. I mean, James Wan blessed us with The Conjuring.
Mhm.
Uh, Wayne said never seen The Devil Made Me Do It.
Oh, Wayne, we need you to see it. I'll be eager to see your takeaways.
Oh, he said I missed the twins last week. Where were you, ladies? Oh, we were traveling, so
Oh,
we
I was
were away.
traveling. Yes, we took a
Yeah.
little hiatus.
I know, so we had to miss it, take a little
Yes.
break. T. Parker said, "I meant 3 of the films of the franchise, not The Conjuring 3. I really enjoy that film." Oh, okay, okay.
Oh, got you. Yep, in its entirety.
Jason said, "Conjuring 2 is a love story masked as a horror film." Yes, and we're gonna be
Mhm.
talking a little bit more about that too, Jason. T. Parker says, "I don't like Annabelle, Curse of La Llorona, and Last Rites." Hyatt. Okay.
Mm.
And then he said, "I just don't like Annabelle." Oh, I did that one. Okay.
Oh, yeah. And that's the great thing about it, you guys. I think there's so many films within this, story arc, which is great.
Mhm,
And, we each have our favorites too, but some of them I'm like,
mhm,
same. Megan knows how I feel about The Nun. Whew,
mhm.
I digress.
And they're supposed to be doing I think they're gonna try again and maybe do a little bit more with Alec. I don't know.
I mean, there's potential.
I mean, she's so scary looking. So
What,
much.
like, in A Nun? Come on, you guys.
Yeah,
Don't do us
give
too
us
far with that.
a little
Hey,
bit
come on, you got
more.
Veronica's sister. Come on, give my girl Thaisa something to play with.
Yeah. Okay, so
Seriously.
now we come to Last Rites. And see, I could play the clip, but I don't know. Should I risk it?
I
What do you
mean, I
think
don't
here?
know. I'm gonna risk it.
Okay. We're just gonna show a little clip to kind of bring us into the Last Rites. If we fade to black, you guys, it was great.
Oh my. Wow.
Okay, hold on.
Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm.
The Conjuring Last Rites, for me, is pretty much the end of an era. It is bittersweet, but all good things come to an end.
It's been really fun to grow up, through the decades and explore all these sensational cases.
It's November 1st, 1971.
1977.
1981.
Going back to the first film, I remember thinking, what a gift to be able to do this.
So it's 1971 Conjuring, and Conjuring 2's 1977.
Conjuring 3 was 81.
This is 1986, and the Smurl case.
The Smurl case was the darkest thing we've ever seen in the series.
Ed and Lorraine, they're both contemplating hanging it up. Unfortunately, because of their innate goodness, they actually can't walk away from it.
This demon has a vendetta, and what it wants is very, very personal.
You talk upping the scares. This is thrilling, scary. You never know where this is going.
This story is the last act for these two. And something's changed.
Ooh.
Oh, we
Gosh,
survived.
yeah, we survived. Don't know.
We survived.
We gotta be careful. We do. Yeah, but
I
ooh,
know.
it was worth risk it all to show
I
it. Yeah.
know. Look at TG was like, "Be careful."
That emoji is me behind the scenes.
I know, girl. They be like, "Fade to black, girl."
Oh, pizza black. All right, well, we had to. We had to. Oh my god, I think that sets the tone so perfectly, you guys, for Last Rites.
Mhm.
So Mika and I, again, even though they could continue this franchise for many, many years to come, no need. We loved Last Rites, and again, to each its own. This is why I love film, because they're subjective, and some people will love it for different reasons. Some people won't like it for different reasons. We thoroughly enjoyed it and found it fitting for the last installment of this franchise. I think that clip did a really good job of kind of explaining fully where we find Ed and Lorraine and an adult Judy, which I love. Like, their daughter becomes completely a part of the family unit in terms of tackling this evil, right? And so really quickly at the beginning of the film, we're introduced to a young Ed and Lorraine. We find Lorraine pregnant, and they encounter this haunted mirror. I'm not going to give too much away there other than that. And it was so frightening, bearing witness to this object, that they basically flee, right? And you see why they flee, and we find out later it was a case they never returned to. And then the trajectory of the film is that we find the family unit coming back together to help this family who have now inherited, sadly, this haunted mirror, this artifact.
And you guys, forgive me if you hear Cairo in the back. I don't know if you could hear me
Bailing his heart out.
going ham. I don't know why he just does not come down the stairs. Like, the door is open, come down.
I know.
Cat.
We love it.
So you guys, is real life. If you hear the cat, it is what it is.
We'll accept it.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. So I love that description, Kira. And where we find, like you said, where we find Lorraine and Ed after all these investigations is really wanting to take that that time away. They're done with the investigations, especially with what's going on with Ed's heart. You know, he wants to get back into the action, but Lorraine, of course, is worried about him and is just really wanting to slow down, do their lectures, and not really get back into those hauntings again.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's
calmer
interesting.
lane, if you will.
Yeah. And it's understandable. It's understandable where we find them. And like you said, I love that we see an adult Judy in the film. I love the look at kind of her gifts and skills as they are comparatively to Lorraine. And then even introducing new relationships that she has as well, with love and things of that sort.
Oh yeah, I agree. And it's interesting because I think for this to be the last film, they had a short window to try to include a lot, right? So you had to actually highlight the significance of the case. And I think like a lot of people will probably maybe want a little bit more in terms, like, I love this. Let me clarify. I did like the scares that were in the film. There were definitely scares. I definitely feel like because it was the last film, they had so much to fit in. So you are going to have a haunting. You're going to have those scares. You're going to have that vulnerability in terms of them trying to figure out their path and the road they're taking in terms of the work that they're doing. Then you're encompassing Judy's story, her story arc. We follow her from birth to young adulthood and her connecting with the family. And then also this full circle moment in terms of like both units coming together, the family that they're trying to help and them as a family unit. So it was so much going on.
Yes,
and the last film too. Yeah.
Oh yes, because I like as you said, the Smurl family in Pennsylvania is dealing with this haunting, like you said, because of bringing in this haunted item, this mirror. And I think that's the difference between the other films. I hear a lot of people talking about that's what they really didn't like about this film, but I understood it for the reasons you said. We didn't spend that much time with the family, the Smurl family, as we did with other films. But I think that was purposeful, and I understood it because it was really more so focused on the Warrens to me and where they were, and why we have that rift, why it takes them so long to get involved in this case.
Oh yeah. So yeah, this is a film where the family unit definitely took the backseat. So the Warrens were front and center in terms of the story arc and the character development in this film, front and center. And the family took the backseat. Like, we still, of course, they're there, but you nailed it. I think in the first 3 films, I think they do a really different twist where you're equally getting to know the individual, like in part 3, and then the family units in part 1 and 2. And then even though Ed and Lorraine are still there, they kind of complement this family, these individuals we've grown to care about. And that's very different than the last film.
Let me just see some of the chat. Wayne said, but will it be the last rites? Well, I know for Ed and Lorraine and
They're
Patrick
done.
and Vera, they're done. But could the universe continue to expand? I'm sure they will,
Perhaps.
especially with how much money the films make. TG said, "How are they in the '80s and there are no '80s fashion or music?" Oh, I think they did a good callback to the '80s with this one. What do you think, Kara?
Yeah, I think it was fair. Like I agree. I think what I will say is for what they gave me, I think it was actually fair. Like
Mhm.
again, I think it was really the focus was very different, but I think what they provided was fair in terms of like clothing,
Mhm.
sets,
Mhm.
little things that we noticed in the scenes.
Mhm. And Brett said the mirror looked excellent. Oh yeah, me and
Agreed.
Kira, have you seen I Flanagan stream? We talked about that when we was talking about Oculus. We don't do any thrifted mirrors. That's a no. Number one thing, not coming in the
Or
homes
candles. Use
or
candles.
candles. Oh no.
Or mask.
Yeah, no. T. Parker said, "I was really disappointed because I've been listening to the Smurls case leading up to Last Rites, and in the film, it felt like an afterthought, and I was bored with the Warrens family drama."
Oh,
Mm.
okay. Yeah. Well, and this is why it's so great to get everyone's perspective.
Mhm.
I think if this film like gave it another hour, perhaps it could have maybe given you everything you potentially wanted. But I think that again, I kind of held that they were trying to kind of wrap up so much within that story arc, right? And
Mhm.
the main primary focus is bringing the films to an end, and the initial tie for all of them has always been Ed and Lorraine.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I get that.
Yep, I get that. Yep, Brett said, "Only frustrating part of Conjuring 4 is they had the biggest budget in the entire franchise, and they still chose to do CGI than makeup effects for the demons, especially the old lady."
Ah, yes.
Mm,
And see, I'm a
yeah.
fan. And Mika knows this. I'm always a fan of things that you don't see. Like that's
Mhm.
the
Oh, yep.
scariest thing to me. You don't have to have anyone wielding an axe. You don't have to have an old lady. You don't have to have the crooked man or
Mhm.
Bathsheba. Like you give me a lot by nothing being there.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
hopefully that explains what I look for. That's
Oh,
why I
yeah.
think The Conjuring, there were elements of what I said in The Conjuring, but it was very much different in the sense of it didn't over those things didn't overshadow the film.
Yeah, and, I won't give this away, but I will just say there's one scene with a phone cord that kinda speaks to what you're saying, Kira, just real
Exactly.
subtle. You don't have to do too much, but it's really spooky and creepy.
Yeah, and then the doll, the toy,
Mhm. Mhm.
another great example. Nothing too
Mhm.
much.
Mhm. T. Parker said the pacing was a drag, was the scariest part of the movie for me. Oh, the pacing. Well, this movie, I mean, the beginning, it starts off quite fast, the trajectory, and then we do have a slowdown. But to me, that slowdown is because we are doing that character development and we're following the Warrens of where they are. So I think it's like an hour and 20 minutes before they even meet the Smurls. But
Yeah.
I mean, I understood the pacing, but I know for some people, the pacing could be a thing.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. But I think you hit it on the head, Mika. I think ideally, when we have that slowdown in films, it's usually to build the story, to give
Mhm.
you a lot of description, to
Mhm.
let you understand what's going on for the individual character. Like if I'm thinking of Judy in this film, you had to do that because she
Mhm.
was so central to the story. Like we see how Lorraine is pregnant with her, and then we actually see as a child, she has the same inherent gifts that Lorraine's has, and then she has to show how she deals with that in a way that Lorraine has taught her. And then you have to show like that she still experiences that as a young adult. Like a lot of those scenes had to be fleshed out a bit so that you
Mhm.
could understand, for me at least, the gravity of what it's like to be a part of this family unit, but more specifically for Judy to have the same gifts, unlike Ed, that Lorraine has.
Mhm. Mhm. I love that. I love that. Okay, let me just get to chat because I don't want to get away from us. Wayne said two of the most praised movies this year I didn't like much: Sinners, From Dusk Till Dawn clone, but way slower, and Weapons, too repetitive with gimmick of points of view, the reveal of what happened lame. So Sinners, we
We love
love.
it.
That's one of our favorites of the
I haven't
year.
seen Weapons yet.
Still haven't seen Weapons yet,
And
but I'll be
maybe what we'll do, that'll be a good now that Wayne has noted that might actually be a good episode to do a deep dive in Sinners.
yeah,
Ooh, it
yeah.
might be when we have to like do a deep dive in.
Oh, you
Mika and I
got
did a lot of collective notes on Sinners. It was
mhm,
literally a master class. There was too much going on, but
mhm,
a lot could be missed in that film for
mhm,
sure. Our a second rewatch really helped us
mhm.
process a lot too.
And speaking of pacing, because we just talked about pacing, that's a big thing that film gets too, because so much of that beginning of the film is character development before we get to like something really happening. But again, we love a slow burn and we love that character development. So it kind
You
of
know what's
works.
so funny? I need to like in these films specifically, I don't need to be attached to like all the characters that are in the film at all by any means. I love when a film allows me to connect to someone, right? So even though the Smurl family, no, I didn't want anything bad to happen to them, but I wasn't also attached to this family unit in the same way that I was in the first film, right?
Yeah.
But I was completely attached to the Warrens, right? I think that that was the flip side of this film. We actually are introduced to them in a more intimate way. And with that respect, I appreciated that because even though the flashbacks and their dynamic, we are really pulled in understanding them more fully as individuals, as a couple, as parents, as a family, as a whole.
Yep. Wayne said one of my favorite movies this year was a box office flop and hated by most people. Hurry Up Tomorrow, starring The Weeknd.
Oh, we'll have to watch that,
I
Wayne.
yeah, I think I did see a trailer of that. Okay, I'll have to check that out.
I haven't seen that. Okay, noted, Wayne. We'll check that out.
Mhm.
I love a
And
film
TG
that's under the
said
radar.
I know. TG said, "Did the setting look good in Last Rites?" To me, it did. I liked it.
Did. I enjoyed the setting. I think they did a really good job. And one thing that I will say is that I don't think it was over the top. That's just me personally speaking. What I will say is I know people will probably have I'm thinking of one scene with the mirror where I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I get it. Like, it didn't have to be like so repetitive. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. Outside of that, I feel like I liked what it presented, what it gave me. There was so many homage. How do I say that? Homages.
Homages. We're gonna talk about that too.
Girl, I can't even speak
Yeah.
today. Thank you. Other films like they played very well on a lot of films that we thoroughly enjoy. The Shining.
Oh, well, we'll go right into that.
Yeah,
Since
we'll go right into
you
that. But it
enjoyed
was
it.
let's
Well, you
talk
can
more
talk about that, but I'll just say, a lot of I don't know if people caught that, but a lot of horror homages. Like you said, I thought The Shining, I thought The Exorcist, I thought Poltergeist, I thought The Omen. Yeah, it was just giving me, I don't know
little
if people
teases here and there.
little teases, but I digged it.
And even gave me a little bit of Amityville when that priest was in the house. Come on.
Okay.
Brother Gordon.
I know. Let me see. Okay, lose my star. Brett said, love Oculus. Okay. That's a great one. So slept on for
We can
Flanagan.
love Oculus.
Yeah,
It was a good film, but I was so pissed by the ending.
yeah, yeah. Wayne said, "Do I need to see any of the previous Conjuring movies before seeing this one?" I would see the first
I
three.
would see the first three, honestly. I mean, they all study an individual case that the Warrens. I think the only cohesive element are the Warrens.
Yeah, but they do flow, especially to follow that trajectory of the love story. I mean, if that's your thing, but I think for these films, you do need to follow that sequence.
I would recommend it.
T. Parker said, "I wanted more of the X-Man entity. He had a presence." Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I did hear that from I know a lot of people, they felt like a lot of the entities, I mean, like they were just there. You didn't really get any, like the first one, Bathsheba, we get in that story of her. Part 2, you kind of get in the story of the old man who's haunting them. So yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, I think in this one, the closest that Lorraine gave us was when she was on the porch talking to Ed about like who the spirits were and what happened to them. So you did get a brief understanding of who they are and why they're there, but I totally understand them. We didn't spend a lot of time unearthing their core stories, and then also the entity that was possessing them, right? The dark force beyond them.
Brett said, "At the end of the day, as a Conjuring fan, I was satisfied with the ending, and Conjuring 4 was better than 3, but not on the level of 1 and 2.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep, I agree with that. Wayne said, "Talking of Mike Flanagan, I watched The Life of Chuck." Oh, we still got to see that. I heard that was great. Oh, he said, "Oh, Wayne didn't like it, but I heard it was good."
Disappointment, really?
So
okay, we're gonna watch that.
Thoughts. 2 great scenes stuck in a mess of a soulless movie.
Ooh.
Okay,
we'll
give you our
when we watch it.
Yeah, when we watch it. TG said, "I need to see Sinners and Jaws since Jaws is celebrating the anniversary." Yeah, a lot of people went in the theaters to see it. Yeah.
Love it.
Wayne said Patrick Wilson equals Jane Wan's favorite actor. Had him in the Conjuring, Insidious, and Aquaman movies.
I love it. Hey, when
Love
you got your star, why shift it, change
Oh
it?
yeah,
You
yeah.
can't unsee him in any of the roles.
I know. And TG said, yep, he also directed Juan, also directed a Fast and Furious movie. T. Parker said, I felt Last Rites was similar to Conjuring 2 with the main entity haunting a family, but main goal was to get the Warrens. But Conjuring 2 had better pacing and perfect balance of character development. Yeah.
Fair point.
I like that, T. Parker. Wayne said Jaws is a classic. I watched it in Sydney, Australia on the big screen for its 40th anniversary at a marvelous venue, the State Theater in Sydney. Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Oh, hello. Acres of Movies said hello and thanks. I love mirror scenes.
Ooh, I know. Oh my God, that's an episode in and of itself.
Yes, Stacy. Okay, and then TG said, one of my nephews loves Jaws, and Jaws does fit the Halloween season, so I need to get to it. Yeah, you gotta watch
Definitely
Jaws.
get on it. Original.
Yeah,
OG.
Wayne said part 7 when Paul Walker sadly passed away. Juan handled that so well. I know that ending. That ending. I think that's where I stopped watching the franchise.
Yeah, ditto.
It was getting. TG said, yes, Juan did an amazing job handling a very tough time when Paul passed away.
Yep.
New horror movie being cast soon is first time watching. The best online horror themed movie story I've read. Ooh,
I'll have to check that out.
Okay, and then Stacey said, I love you so much. You're so underrated. I'm so excited for her to do so many more horror in different roles. Her monologue in Godzilla 2 is so underrated. Everyone should agree with that character. Yeah, I think it's about Vera. Yeah.
Love your Flamingo.
And then she said, is a Hall of Mirror scene in this one of your favorite of the series? Oh, I know the mirror scene you're referring to. Yeah, I did love it.
Yeah, any mirror scene, like honestly, it's just the play on that in and of itself. You don't even have to show anything for that to be like scary.
And they had a couple in the new one. But I think I know the one you're referring to.
Yeah.
And yeah, we talked about that too. Yeah, the crooked man scene.
I'm gonna reserve until I see what they're giving me
with the
with
movie. Yeah, what the movie, if they do the movie. Yeah. And we knew you were talking about our girl. Yep.
Yeah. Vera, Mika and I, Vera go way back.
Yeah, and I always try to pronounce her name because actually, it's very Pacific. Is like Vieta. I can't roll my R's, but it's like Vieta Famiga because no one ever pronounces her name right. She said she always. I remember her saying to say Vera, like she's a waitress.
Yeah.
But if I can roll my R's, that's actually how you
highlight the film she was in with Paul Walker. What was that called? That was so good.
That's so slept on. Running Scared.
Running Scared. If you guys love Paul Walker and you love our girl, please introduce yourself to the film Running Scared. Please do yourself a favor. We bless you to watch it.
We might have to do on your radar on that to break that one down.
That was so good.
Ooh.
I just thought about that when I said, "Oh my God, two of my faves in one film."
I know. Ooh, that's good. Okay. So I really want to kind of we talked about horror now you got me messing up the words. Homage. So we mentioned those, but really for me, I think what some of the things I loved about this film and the tie-in to all the other films was really the themes of love.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on. Everybody knows, like, yes, this is like a haunting. Yes, it's a ghost story, right? We love that. Overall, especially if you guys were familiar with Ed and Lorraine, like Mika and I were prior to these films, their whole thing was their love for one another. And in the midst of that, they just found that coming together, firstly, because they loved one another, and then secondly, to help people, right? They had this gift that they were able to do. Support people in some of the darkest times of their lives, even outside of like even being accepted by the church. Yes, it was their love for one another, and it's evident in every single film. Like they have standout scenes for me in each film.
And as we know the film takes liberty because there's always comments or stories about the real Warrens. We don't know what's true or not, but I do love how Patrick and Vera, how they portray their version of the Warrens, I will say, in that love story. To me, like you said, I always say that one of the legacies for me is that it's a love story disguised as a ghost story, and that's why it's emotional, and that's the most important thing for me. of the films, because I come back to the
Yep.
films. I do love to be scared. I do love those spooky, creepy moments. But to me, I always come back for Ed and Lorraine, and I always come back for Patrick and Vieta, because they portray them so well.
Agreed. Yep. Sums up perfectly. Yeah.
And I think I did. Hold on. I did a little note. I said, let me read my note. I said the love story between Ed and Lorraine comes full circle here. In The Conjuring, they were partners entering their prime. In Conjuring 2, they faced visions of death, but still they found joy. In Devil Made Me Do It, we see Ed's vulnerability and Lorraine's care and her protection of him. And then in Last Rites, we see that devotion, that fragility, and also ultimately that unbreakable unity. And that it's always that love that conquers the evil and gives them the strength to go against that.
Oh yes, and I have to highlight in this film, it was so good to see that trifecta, right? Judy, right? Held her own in this film too. It was so great to see how all of them coming together was a united front against the dark force.
Another thing that stood out in this film, we're not going to say what it is, but I love the emotional farewell. I thought this was a great conclusion to the Warren story, as we mentioned. And I love the callback. They did a great callback that tied in all the films, which I really loved at the end, which was really beautiful to me. So that was something, if you've seen the film, you know what we're talking about, but that was really well done. What do you think?
I agree. That scene was like so fitting. And full circle as well, because again, without giving it away, it ties in nicely all of the cases they took part in helping with.
Oh yeah. So I love that. Wayne said my favorite horror movie this year so far is Bring Her Back, an Australian by the makers of Talk to Me. Sally Hawkins, I love Sally Hawkins, stars and should be Oscar nominated for it. So disturbing, scary, and realistic. And we so bad. We still haven't.
You guys,
seen
don't
it
hate
for-
us. Oh my
I
God. It's
know.
literally available for us to stream, and we still have not watched Bring Her Back. We're on it, you guys.
Bring Her Back and Weapons.
Come on.
T.
I'm almost
Parker
nervous to watch Bring Her Back. I think that's been our hold off. We just have to emotionally prepare ourselves for it, honestly.
Yeah, from what I hear. T. Parker said, would you guys prefer the Conjuring franchise continue on with the young Ed and Lorraine, or with Judy and Tony? Yeah.
I cannot. This kind of, for me, you guys know, that's just me personally. I'm all set. Like I feel like give me Ed and Lorraine now, or I don't want it. Like I like that in this film they started with the young Ed and Lorraine to give us a understanding of how this artifact was going to influence the current case. But I'm good actually.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting because I know their daughter Judy in real life, she steers clear of that. That really wasn't her trajectory, like to do the investigations. But I know the films can always take creative license in the future. But I would probably like to see like maybe a spin-off into other characters, like maybe Valak more, or like we talked about the Crooked Man movie. But I think the Warrens, I'm okay with where they are and where we left them. Ben, hey Ben, he said Running Scared is very good. Yep.
Agreed.
TG, any credit teasers for a new movie in the Conjuring universe? No, we watched the credits. I didn't
No, I didn't see anything.
Not that I've heard.
No, I can't. I don't.
Yep. And then Wayne said I have Running Scared starring Paul Walker on DVD. Great movie. Yes.
Very good.
Brett said Ed and Lorraine Warren are the horror couple in the horror genre. I mean they goals for me. Goals. Don't you think, Kara?
Oh yeah, and if you have an opportunity, even prior to these films, to kind of do a deep dive into their cases, it's worth the deep dive. Like Mika said, we actually followed them in some series and documentaries that were done. So we were already familiar with them. So when The Conjuring came out, we were like, "Ooh, ecstatic," because we already knew who Ed and Lorraine were.
And then Wayne said, "Oh, what does my beanie say?" It says, "In my tea era," because we love
tea.
Yeah.
I forgot I had my tea.
I know. Okay. And T. Parker said I did love the ending though. It felt like a proper conclusion. If you know, you know. Yes.
Yeah, it's very proper. I appreciated it. And we got a clan clapping our theater, which I like to see.
Yeah. And as we mentioned, like I said, it's all about the love. Look at this. Just all throughout this series. It's just all about these two, really,
Agreed.
Okay, I'm gonna star the comments right there, and we're just gonna get into Oh, I did want to ask people. Let us know, what's your favorite Ed and Lorraine moment across the saga? I know we talk about love, so let us know. And then ranking. So like, how would we rank these?
Well, for me, it would be this is easy. It'll be very quick because there's only 4. The first one,
Well, yeah, for the main ones, yeah.
number 1 is the first Conjuring.
Mhm.
Number 2, the second Conjuring. The Last Rites and The Devil Made Me Do It. Bam.
Okay. I might be different. Oh no, let me stop. Yeah, that's pretty much where I am too.
I mean,
And for us too, because actually we love 3. So to us, I mean, we all of them have been
we
great.
can easily say 1, 2, 3, 4.
1,
How
2, 3,
about
4.
that? How about that? How about that?
Yeah, and everyone let us know too, what your rankings were. You know, put them in, post your ranking in the chat and let us know.
Oh
Okay,
yeah. Oh, and I can't wait to see what they come out with this box set. Why should they give us a big box set of this franchise?
oh my god. Well, I mean, they already came out with the new 4K. I still have to get that of The Conjuring, but yeah, that would be great.
They're gonna
Let me
do
just
it.
quickly go through the chat. Wayne said, "Bring Her Back touches on themes of trauma, loss, and tragedy. Be warned, if you have suffered from any of these, this movie will be very triggering. This is a heartbreaking and disturbing movie." So we've heard. That's why we've been kind of
on pause.
But we will.
Yeah, and Wayne, I think we saw a TikTok where like 2 people they just recorded themselves at the end credits and they were just like mouths wide open staring at the screen, just sitting there. And that's like, oh wow, that's not a way to tell you how the film made you feel. I don't know what it is.
Oh, Wayne said Patrick Wilson has the sideburns.
I
Yes, and
love it.
he did say that's one thing he's gonna miss, because he always waited every couple of years to get the call that they were doing another one, so he would get those sideburns growing. But yeah. Look at those lovely kids loving on each other.
Oh yeah. Oh, and fun fact, for Vera, she had said that it wasn't until she started making these films that she started also experiencing some paranormal activity. So I thought that was interesting too.
Mhm. Annabelle 3 is basically a Conjuring movie, though. Oh, yes. And we know that, like I said, in the whole Conjuring universe, there's several movies we mentioned tonight, like the Nun and Annabelle. But we're just talking about those core 4 right now.
Mhm.
I think, and I might have skipped some
That's okay.
comments. My favorite moment with the Warrens is honestly in the last scene of The Conjuring 4. I know,
but
they always wrap them up. Yeah, they always wrap up each one with a beautiful scene with them
it was
too.
good. It was bittersweet, fitting.
Ben said always with the happy endings. Yes.
Oh yes, come on, darkness to the light.
Yeah, I know. We gotta have some light dealing with these
Please.
things. T. Parker said, "I did love when Ed sings Elvis while looking at Lorraine."
Doesn't it?
I know. Brett said The Conjuring, his ranking is The Conjuring, the first one, the second one, third would be Last Rites, and then Conjuring 3 would be.
There we go. Love it.
Yeah. TG said, same here. And look at that, the ends and the Bring Her Back.
Emojis. Okay.
And then T. Parker said his ranking would be The Conjuring 2, 10 out of 10. The Conjuring 8 out of 10. Okay. The Conjuring 3, 7 out of 10, and The Conjuring 4, 5 out of 10. Okay, T. Parker. And then TG said the T Park a 10 out of 10 for second movie. Wow. Yeah, a lot of people love 2.
Yeah. 2 is a standout favorite for most in the franchise.
And then I think for our overall rating of 4, Last Rites, we always look at like the story and themes, the scares, the atmosphere, the sound, all of that, and then rewatchability. So with all those things, Kira, what would you say?
Oh, I would give this a high one. One, based off everything you just shared, and because it's the last in the franchise, and because I love Ed and Lorraine. For me, it's really high up there. I would give it a 9. And again, it's just because for me, I don't need all of this scary jump scare stuff. I need scares, yes, more story arc always, character development, characters that I root for, a good story.
Yeah, and to me, I would probably say the same. I would probably do an 8 or a 10. Like I love the film. I think the story was great. I know, like again, we talked about that. A lot of people wanted more interactions with the Smurls, but again, I thought the way they handled the story with focusing on Ed and Lorraine and the Warrens and Judy and where they were made sense to me. Love the themes of the film. Love the atmosphere. We saw it in Dolby. With the sound was just amazing, and that's the great thing about these films. They do sound so good. And rewatchability, of course. This is one
We'll watch again and again.
watch again, like we watch all the others. So yeah, I feel comfortable with the same rating as well. It's just a great one. For me. I just thought it was well done. And again, like I said, the legacy, it's a love story disguised as a ghost story.
Oh yes, I agree. I concur.
Yes. Okay. So I think that's all.
I know. What do we say? We here for a good time, not a long time.
Yes. We will mention. I want to talk about what we're going to have coming up. So tomorrow we actually will be back again.
Yeah, and it won't be long, you guys. It's just going to be a little brief.
Yeah, this is going to be short. So we decided to do for the fall season Music Mondays. So tomorrow we'll be doing a brief live to do part 1 of our pumpkin spice playlist, where we'll be building a playlist for the fall season. So we have part 1, which will be our first 10 songs we'll add to the list. And then we'll have a Spotify playlist that everyone can follow, add to. Just thought that would be fun because we also love music. We're big into vinyl and music.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
it's we thought that was a question we asked before. Like, if you had to live without music or film, which one could you do? And like, literally, I can't answer that.
I know.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah, but I guess if you was forced, at least maybe film, because at least film does have music incorporated.
I don't know. So, you know me, because some days I'm just listening to music all day long. Oh, so that's a tough one. I digress.
That's a tough one. Yeah. And then next week we'll be back, but next week we're just going to be doing a spooky season watch list. So we've planned out all our 31 days of Halloween and what we'll be watching. So we're going to give you guys a run through of what we're going to be watching from day 1 to all the way to Halloween. So that's gonna be a fun one.
Yes, I'm excited about that one.
Hey, let me just wrap up the last comments.
Last chat.
T. Parker said, I missed Ed and Lorraine's theme in Last Rites. For some reason, they didn't bring back Joseph Bashara as composer for Last Rites. Yeah, a lot of different things. Even not having James Wan do this one. I would have loved, but I would have loved to have him do this
little
one.
Touch on it.
Yes. And Stacey said, have a fun night. Thank you.
Hello.
Gory said, later. You said, good job of not getting blocked on YouTube.
Woo!
That's right. Wayne said, thanks, my favorite twins and everyone in the chat.
Wayne, we love you.
Yep. And Brett said, I had so much fun and you all were great. Have a great night, ladies.
Oh, ditto.
And T. Parker said, I can never give up films and we still give music in the movies. That's what I said.
Okay, so Mika's answer. I understand. I get you.
Okay. So to wrap up this film, I'm going to show a little clip by a great editor from TikTok. I put her in the comments. I think she did a cute little short just on the wrapping up of the series. So have a good one, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow if you're around, and if not, next Sunday. Woo-woo.
So I'm not going to say goodbye, but no, give your answer.
We'll get another franchise. Don't you worry, baby.
Where does it go from here? No idea.
No idea. I mean, we're done. We're done. Aww, we're done. Very much like it was like at first sight with us, wasn't it? I love his character. I love working with him.
We thought if we got it right, we'd be back for at least one more.
He's my fake hubby in Conjuring.
I'm gonna say because I can't imagine not working with you.